Good evening and welcome to episode 83 of the Jacksonian. I'm yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and back with me is Nate Bomber Brown, the CEO and founder of CFB Mafia himself, and his co-host, joining me for the first time in the show's history, the one and only himself, Professor WildUte.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go.
go.
There we
Let's go,
go.
Jackson.
There we go, man.
We're ready.
Well, as we'll be going over our take on the BYU Utah rivalry that's going to be playing this Saturday night on Fox, the 2025 season for each of the teams, and a little bit of Netflix and college football. Let me tell you something, you're going to be in for a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Excellent, Jackson. Thanks
Great.
for having us.
Living the dream, man. The Holy War week. Can't wait to get into some of this coverage. We need to let your audience know kind of how this rivalry is and why it's different, maybe than like the Iron Bowl. Because I think that, a lot of Bama fans and stuff, obviously, the Iron Bowl's the Iron Bowl. We all know that. But we've got a little Iron Bowl of our own here in the Holy War.
We do. Yeah, it couldn't be for those people that aren't associated or don't understand what BYU Utah is, and it's understandable. We're in the mountain time zone. A lot of people fly over us, don't pay attention, but I think this is a top 5 rivalry in the entire country. And I think that now people are actually paying attention. Last year was an amazing game. Everybody watched, huge number, and I think this year is going to be even better on Fox, the main Fox channel. In between the ALCS and NLCS games, it should be a good time.
Really nice.
Yeah,
it's in between them. Yeah, that's a good time spot right there.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll be flipping between Alabama, Tennessee, and Notre Dame, USC, and BYU, Utah. So what will be the plan is this little baby's having Alabama, Tennessee.
There you go.
This little baby's having Notre Dame, USC.
Seriously, right?
And the TV's having BYU, Utah.
That's right. That's right.
Man, it's so hard to get multiple games now. Like I'm trying to get like multiple things. I've got 3 screens going on with my phone, my computer, my TV.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jackson. Like it's like kind of a painful viewing experience to try to get all the games you want. You need to make it a little easier on us.
Yeah, there are multi-views coming out now. The ESPN has a multi-view. Fox has a multi-view. There's no multi-view that merges them together, and it makes it really tough because last week we had Fox games and ESPN games going at the exact same time. That's a bit frustrating, but hey, we love being on Fox. Fox is a great home for the Holy War and certainly for Utah and BYU.
Well, it's a lot better than ESPN treating the way they're treating you guys. That's for sure.
It's freaking criminal. College game day snubs every week.
Yep.
ESPN seriously is becoming the villain of the Big 12 conference. Seriously, I know like in SEC land and stuff, everything's ESPN, ABC, but to sniff an ABC game is like impossible in the Big 12 conference. They won't even consider you for game day. They won't consider you. It's basically a late night 8:30 p.m. Mountain kickoff, 10:30 Eastern time. That's the best you're going to get with those turkeys. So Fox, baby, we're Fox and Big 12.
We are Fox. It's Fox and TNT. Let's go get that one done.
TNT, we know drama. And before we get this show started off, WildUte, we'll start with your introduction of yourself for those who don't know about you, and then after you, we will have Nate's introduction.
Sure. So call me the WildUte. Name's Philip. In Salt Lake City here. Ute fan. Went to Utah for my undergrad and grad school. So I've been a part of like this university for a long time. I started watching Utah football and really diving in when I first went to Utah, and that was in the Urban Meyer first year. So that was in 2004. Right? Yeah, that's when I first started at the University of Utah. That's when football got hot. There was a big shift from basketball success and basketball fanhood to football. And so I've been kind of on the forefront of that and everything. And there's a huge contingent of Ute fans kind of in that same age range and everything that grew up with really good football at the University of Utah. So the fan base has been able to build over the last 20 years. But I've been a diehard Ute fan for the past 20 years. I podcast on the College Football Mafia Network with Nate. WildUte University. I put out more analytical research-based videos and everything. So I've been doing that roughly 3 years, and we love podcasts and talking college football news, man.
There you go. Well, Nate, your net's good, buddy.
First of all, I want to, again, thank you for having us on. This is really great, Jackson. I want to thank you and also Moen, who's not here with us tonight. The three of us, full partners on this deal. And the College Football Mafia has been a dream that I've wanted to do well over 30 years. And now we have the technology to be able to do that. And the Holy War is the basis of everything. I tracked down Ute for 4 months trying to get him to talk to me on Twitter, and then got to know each other a little bit, decided to do a show, and that first show was the Holy Rivals, and it was all about the Holy War. And here we are 3 years later, and it is arguable, not only is this the biggest game in the Big 12 this year, I think it's going to be the biggest game in the Big 12 in the coming years until maybe we have another sort of gyration in consolidation in college football. So we're the focus, and we want to keep everybody's attention. In this part of the country, you might fly over, but we're here fighting for everything we can get in college football. And I think BYU and Utah are both very undervalued in the college football market.
Scrappy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, if game day was asking me personally, I mean, yeah, Ole Miss Georgia's a good game and all. I mean, you can go to Athens, Georgia anytime.
Yeah.
It's not every day you get to go to BYU, Utah, Alabama, Tennessee, or USC, Notre Dame. We don't know if, well, Netflix is trying to save Notre Dame, USC.
That's true. They are.
They're crossing the fingers. But still, though, it's like that would have been my three choices. I mean, I don't think Ole Miss is going to beat Georgia in Athens, but I mean, if you want a consolation prize, just give it to Sean McDonough. Or if you're not going to
why don't they just rename it? Instead of calling it College Game Day, just call it Southeastern Conference.
Yeah,
just be open and honest. They're never going to go up to a Big Ten game anymore. And the SEC is where they make all their money. So they should just rename the thing and be open and honest about it instead of teasing fan bases all around the country.
I guess we're so bent about this, Jackson, because we moved, like our conference, Brett Yormark, Big 12, moved the Holy War game to midseason to get exposure, right? And all of a sudden you've got two ranked teams, one loss between the both of them with everything to play for, maybe, getting into a Big 12 title game, into the playoff. Like, we're talking about massive stakes for this game. Yeah. And like, Big Noon's coming and everything. So it's one of like the big two shows coming to town. But game day really is still the premier experience, right? When game day comes, it's the event for multiple days and everything. Everyone wants that. It just doesn't come very often in this new Big 12. It seemed like it came more often in the old Pac-12, honestly, when Utah was in there.
Yeah, it did, I think. Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, as we get to the 2025 season, and we'll start with you, Nate, about BYU. As the season was getting closer, Jake Raslov's out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's saying it's all over. People are just basically throwing the baby out with the bathwater in Provo. And you got the crying woman in the middle of the yard going, "No, it can't be true."
Right. But I was not that guy. You will attest. We did show after show on it. When Jake Ratzlaff came to Provo, I was not happy about it at all. He's at Tulane. He is at the level of quarterback he is in college football right now. He's generally a 1 to 1.5 to 1 ratio in touchdowns and turnovers. Not going to win any playoff games with anything like that. And we lost to Kansas last year, arguably because he threw one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life and got it intercepted. So there's a reason that I was ecstatic that he ran into the trouble. And we're not going to talk about why he had to leave. But when Bear Bachmeier came in, he was heads and tails immediately the guy. You could see him. You looked at him. All the interviews said, this is going to be a guy we can rely on. the problem's going to be he's a true freshman, never played college in his life, was at Standard for a semester, transferred with his brother, but real smart, super smart, and there's a reason he was going to Stanford. So he comes to BYU and memorizes, and this is crazy. You will attest to this. Aaron Roderick has the most sophisticated offense you'll ever see in your life. It's XYZ. It's literally like calculus. Very hard to grasp, and a lot of people haven't been able to take it in, which has cost us games, honestly. Bear came in and memorized it in essentially 3 weeks. Went into the spring mini camp, went through summer and fall camp, and heads and tails came out, and he was the leader. The problem is going to be, can he go out and win games? Well, BYU had a very easy schedule at the beginning of the season. Nobody should deny that. The Arizona game was the first real test. So they've now gone 6-0, and he's gone from strength to strength. So at the end of the day, what everybody thought, the woe is me, you're talking about the screaming lady in the front yard about somebody being gone, has actually been turned into now a huge benefit, because BYU's defense is incredible. They have skill position players all over the field. They have a running back that's leading the Big 12 in rushing. And now they have a quarterback that can get the ball where they need it. So, look, these teams you're not going to get many more teams that are more equal than BYU and Utah this year. I mean, on if you look at every stat, they're almost identical. Utah's a little ahead on most of them, but they're very, very close in the margins. And so this game, in my estimation, I think it's going to be very, very close.
Well, and the defense has been a huge strength for BYU, as I've noticed this season.
Yes.
And that's where, like, you and I agreed about, like, BYU this season, like, going into the season. And when I was asked about it, I thought to myself, people that are freaking out about Ratzloff being gone, they're only looking at one position. They're not looking at the entire team. They're not looking at the entire offense. They're not looking at the entire defense. You can have a great quarterback, but you better make sure you've got a great offense and a great offensive line. You better make sure your QB's got some weapons. And if you got some top-notch weapons and a top-notch offensive lineman, you could have Matt Jones or Sam Darnold.
Yeah, well,
that'll be fine. I mean,
you know what? I
agree
with you. I agree with everything you're saying. It is the defense, and it's been the defense for the last 2 years. They went 11-2 last year, and it was all on the defense. It wasn't.
They chewed up Colorado like a chicken nugget.
And it's because you could scheme around things like that, right? So this season, it's again been leaning on the defense. Bears come along. It's down to 7 games in this season, and now he has to step up. The one good thing for all BYU fans out there that might be watching this, whenever this is aired, I guess tomorrow, Jack Kelly is back. He's healthy, and Jack Kelly's now back in the center of that defense with linebacker Isaiah Glasker. So BYU's going to be ready for Devin Dampier and what he can do with his feet.
And I noticed that the desert was no match for BYU. They came close, but no cigar. And it's a good thing. But after this game, your toughest tests are basically Iowa State, Texas Tech, and it's panic time over in Ames, Iowa. And
they're struggling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Texas Tech is showing everybody their boss. Satterfield and Sorsby are wanting to see if they can run the show. But, again, we'll learn more about Cincy as the season goes on. I mean, that was a much-needed win over Iowa State that they got.
Yeah.
But
they played well. That was a good game for Cincinnati.
Oh, that was a great one right there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a tough schedule. It really is when you're looking at it like on the road, like who you have to play on the road here.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Tender.
Yeah. Thankfully, after Utah, Iowa State, there is a bye week before we go to Texas Tech, but that's on the road. And Texas Tech is extremely good. So I think it's Utah, BYU, and Texas Tech, or those teams. Two of the three are going to be in the playoff. I'm sorry, in the championship game of the Big 12. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cincy might have a stake at the end there, but I would say that's right on. So we know that Texas Tech, I'm pretty confident Texas Tech's going to be in the Big 12 title. So this Utah BYU game is huge for tiebreaker reasons. in the Big 12. Like Utah has one Big 12 loss. You can't go down to BYU and have a tiebreaker against them, so they have that, the 2 losses they get in over you and stuff. So that would be absolutely devastating. Looking at the schedule, so if BYU does beat Utah and stuff, Utah would have to win out in theory, and BYU would have to lose 3 football games for Utah to even have a sniff at the Big 12 title game. So it's pretty fat chances. So this game's a must-win. This Holy War game's a must-win for Utah. But yeah, looking at this BYU schedule again, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if this happens with Alabama or Auburn, but the week after the Holy War is a major emergency for both schools because so much energy, physicality, emotion goes into this football game that the week after, you tend to come out extremely flat.
Yep.
And you're at big time risk of upset city. Like looking at this, going to Ames is rough. I don't care.
Know it's a day game too. It's a day game,
man. That is so rough.
I'm not looking forward to that. That's of all the schedule. If we just sort of take Texas Tech and put it aside, the Iowa State game is the scariest on the schedule right now. Cincinnati, I think, is going to be a good game at the end of the season, but we'll know what BYU is by that time. They'll either be competing or they'll be playing for a bowl game. So it's the Iowa State game that's the biggest trap game on the schedule remaining for BYU, in my opinion.
And while we are going to you next about the Utes, and how have you been feeling about them so far? I mean, that win over UCLA is just looking better by the week. I mean,
yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah, one way or another.
I mean, like it's ironic though. It's like Utah chews up UCLA like a chicken nugget in week 1. Everybody's like, well, UCLA sucks. Alabama loses Florida State, and it's, well, everything's going to hell in a handbasket for Tuscaloosa. Kellen DeBoer's a disaster. Florida State's going to be the national champions, all that. And now it's Florida State's awful. And Ty Simpson is, and you got Joel Klatt saying if Ty Simpson was Ty Manning, he'd be winning the Heisman. So it's like things change real quick in the world of college football. And I always tell people, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and don't throw the cart in before the horse, especially after week 1. Because like a win in week 1 or a loss in week 1 may look bad or look good at the time, but we'll know by the time we get to the first Saturday of December of how it looks. And who knows, maybe we see UCLA go to a bowl game possibly.
I think a bowl game is definitely reachable. It's still, they're a troubled program though.
Well, they have 2 or 3 wins now.
Yeah, they have. I think they're 2 wins. Yeah.
Yeah,
but they've gone back to back, right? I mean,
I'll tell you what, that's a talented football team. It was.
Sure,
like when Utah played them.
Yep.
Like that's why they're winning now, even in the Big Ten. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in a bowl game. They just had horrendous coaching.
Yeah, that coach was no good at all. Yeah.
Oh man. And I'm looking at we're looking at the rest of the schedule. That still feels a little weird to me. Utah, Kansas on rivalry week, but it is what it is.
Right?
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, we hate those.
It's freaking Friday night game, guys. That's a Friday game. You're traveling to Lawrence. I hate that game right there.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
I'll watch it, of course, but I'm just not. I'm just gonna have venting sessions on Ets about it. It's like, why are you mad on Ets, bro? It's day after Thanksgiving. Well, because Utah, Kansas on rivalry week, and that's not a rivalry week. So, I'm probably just gonna be like one post away of like posting a Bubbles crying gif, just being like, "Why
there you go?
Why you posting Powerpuff Girls gifts?" Like, well, I'm mad and I'm upset about Utah, Kansas being on rivalry week. I want Utah BYU now.
There you go. Let's go. Let's talk more about that.
But yeah, it's we're looking at the rest schedule. Like Colorado coming over to Rice Eccles.
Yep.
Cincinnati coming over Rice Eccles.
Yep.
Baylor, what version are they exactly? And luckily,
we will find out that week.
Yeah.
Man, Kansas State, I mean, they just been up and down.
Yep.
And Kansas, again, tough opponent. And you know what was funny though is I got worried for a moment about Utah after that loss at Rice Eccles against Texas Tech. But I mean, at their victory over West Virginia, I was like, okay, West Virginia's rebuilding this year.
Sure.
But Arizona State, that's a humongous win right there. I mean, yeah, they didn't have Sam Leavitt. They had Jeff Sims at QB, but that's a huge win all the same. It's a much needed win in conference play. And a Utah win over BYU, that would help a lot for the Utes. And I think before you know it, you would have people really forgetting about that Utah loss to Texas Tech from week 4.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
You can right a lot of wrongs by beating BYU. Because what's happened this year has been pretty interesting. Like, because we have to go back a year because of what happened in 2024 season when Utah was the preseason favorite in the Big 12 with Cam Rising, then had a horrible football season, lost a slew of Big 12 games, went 5-7 for the season, largely because of the Rising injury. The Utes were kind of written off. And going into this year, a lot of people were down on Utah, especially people in the Big 12 because of the performance last year. And so I think that Utah to surprise some people, but then the hype train built up. Utah got to number 16 in the nation and then got beat down by Texas Tech. And we're finding out Texas Tech is probably going to beat down most teams this year, if not everybody.
Very, very good. They're very good.
Yeah, they're extremely good. We're finding that out now. But once Utah lost to Texas Tech, people wrote them off again. It was that one loss and stuff. It was the first Big 12 season game. And then and quietly Utah is building up here. And I think that if Utah gets a win in the Holy War, that Utah will jump from that 23 spot probably to the top. I would hope top 15. I would hope. We'll see.
I think, yeah, depending on what the losses are during the the preceding week, I think there's definitely a chance. I think 15 would be the starting.
Just
basically
don't have
replace BYU where they're at now.
Just don't have that Haley Sawyer lady doing the ranking because she'll just say it doesn't matter.
Does she still have her vote, man?
What's Utah?
She should have got fired. She should have lost her vote after that nonsense.
I mean, she's in hiding as far as I recall. But,
yeah, probably.
But don't say that if you're a poll writer.
Well, just from a BYU's perspective, I can tell you right now, nobody's looking past Utah. You can break it down offense and defense, but it's a scary team. A lot of the same things BYU has. Utah, it does just as good or better. I think special teams probably is the only spot that you might have questions.
Special teams because of there's a freshman kicker for the Utes. He's got a big leg. I mean, he can hit field goals from 70 yards, guys. He's got an NFL leg, but he's been erratic a little bit. And so I don't trust the freshman kicker on the road in the Holy War. I don't want to see it. It could come down to it, but I don't necessarily want to see that. That's a question. And then I think still the Achilles heel for this Utah football team is really the talent at wide receiver. They've got a couple of players and stuff, but no superstars. And they need a guy. They've got a couple of guys that can do it. They just haven't. But to really just test vertically and it's just teams and just throw that deep ball and hit on some deep balls, some explosives, because it's been a lot of running up the middle. It's been a lot of ground and pound and a lot of left to right, outside running as well. A lot of running. That's the point, right? But not a lot of deep passing. And in a defense like BYU's with a linebacker play especially, I would bet that BYU is basically playing goal line defense on Utah.
Yeah.
It's just going to just beg Utah to throw the deep ball.
7-8 in the box. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Utah's probably going to do the same dang thing, honestly.
Probably.
It's going to be a goal line
Stop
defense
LJ
game.
And that's right.
It's just going to be an absolute slugfest, man. And Utah has to hit some explosives. They have to in this game, at least one, hopefully multiple, if they want a chance to win, in my view.
Well, while you brought up an excellent point about the kicking game being a weak point for Utah, because I remember a few times I've been on Locked On West Virginia with Mountaineer Paul when it was Utah week for the Mountaineers. I mentioned the kicking game being a huge weakness for Utah, especially when the guy had 1 of 4 kicks against Wyoming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was a bad game.
Yeah,
It's not
I mean
good.
the score looks good, but the
Yeah.
scores don't tell everything.
It's a risk,
Yeah.
you know. Like the guy can nail him. Like he hasn't missed a field goal since, but he's not been in a pressure situation. Like when you're talking the Holy War, like in this state, Jackson, this is the Super Bowl, bro. Like I bet the Iron Bowl is the Super Bowl. And
It's Auburn. It's Auburn, Alabama, and Utah. That's exactly what it is.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl. Like everyone talks about it every freaking day of the year. Like and it just like you feel like the tension, right? And like the energy and the excitement. Do you trust a kicker to get it done? That's had that type of performance on the road at Wyoming.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. It is a risk. There's no doubt about it.
It's a big risk, right?
Man, like no doubt. And you know, Nate, as we talked about, one of the keys to victory for BYU is obviously that defense. That's a huge strength for them. Bear Bomb3r, excelente this season because he's got a killer memory, as you stated. I don't want to go against him. I mean, Bear Bomb3r scaring me.
You know, he's a freshman. He's still making mistakes, right? We have to allow for that. And Utah turns the ball over. So let's be very clear. Utah's defense, they have been predicated the last 20 years on turnovers. Last few years, they've struggled a little bit. Team makeup has been a little bit, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure Ute could explain the difference. But the last couple of years haven't been great. But before then, Utah is based on actually special teams and turnovers. They've been excellent at those things over the years. And it's just been this little gap, and you're not sure where that's going to come in. BYU, if you flip the page, has doing the exact opposite. BYU is succeeding in those areas. BYU is special teams. BYU has been really good on turnovers. So at the end of the day, whoever wins the turnover battle, I mean, it's the classic line, right? Whoever wins the turnover battle in history, if you go back all the way to 1922, whoever wins the turnover battle wins like 83% of the time or something like that. So I think that's what it's going to come down to is explosive plays and turnovers. And then if a special teams can make deep plays like they can.
No doubt. And you know, as we've looked at the game, what was your score prediction for this 2025 edition of the Holy War?
You go first. What do you think?
What iteration? I've thought about 30 different score
That's right.
Jackson.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly right.
Look, I mean, like
I've done the same thing.
You have to ask yourself, like, how much of like a Ute homer are you? How much bias do you have? And of course, for me, a lot, right? Like, and so of course, I'm going to have the Utes winning, but it's like, how? That's the question: is how could? I guess the better answer is how could the Utes win, right?
That's a good question.
The Utes. The most likely Ute path to winning is like, hey, slug it out. Your offensive line takes command. You hit on an explosive or two, and like you sneak out of victory by a point. that's very realistic, right? Like that could happen definitely. I see this is more unlikely, but like with the offensive line as good as it is, Utah's offensive line is one of the top 5 in the nation right now. The analytics say that Utah's is playing the best in the nation right now. You got 2 first-rounders. It's the strength of the team. And if they get it really going and Dampier can slip through a Jack Kelly, if he's not 100%, there is a world where Utah could win by 2 possessions. But they would need to come out hot, and they would need to bring it on like the whole time and not let BYU come back like they did last year in the Holy War. That's more unlikely, though. The most likely win path for Utah is a slug out. You're winning by like 1 to 3 points. So I would say that, you're looking at 28-27. Yeah.
Everything you just said, I completely agree. I think Utah does have, because they have an experience, the line, There's no reason to downplay Utah's offensive line's fantastic. And Dampier, the one skill he has is he can get through seams. So there is a path where Utah wins this by 2 or 3 touchdowns. That could happen. I don't think it will. I think BYU's defense is built specifically to beat and counter what Utah is going to do. But the likelihood of a blowout, I think, is extremely low. I think this is a one possession game. If it goes 28-27, I think probably Utah wins. I think if it goes 24-23 or 22-21 again, I think if BYU can keep the score low, keep Dampier in a box, not let him out the edges, then I think BYU can win like 1 to 3 points. I think that's kind of the path to victory. The hard part is what we're talking about is a game that's so close. The analytics are so tight. Anybody who's picking this game, you're running a risk. I'm just telling you right now, all your analytics might not mean anything at the end of the day because it's the Holy War. And around here, it is the biggest game in the country. It is bigger than the Super Bowl, especially in the state of Utah. And there's a counter. I'm sure Utah has one too, but Utah hasn't beat BYU in 3,200 days. I don't know what the number's up, 1,200 days or something. And it countered, and after every game, there was that lag, and we didn't play for 1 or 2 years too. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The gap, there's somebody that's running that timer on Twitter, right? And he's like, okay, it's been 492 days since Utah's bumped BYU. That's kind of where this is at. So whoever comes out of this game with a win, for the rest of the year, it is all everywhere. Church, work, politics, I don't care where you go to work and how you live your life. This is all encompassing here, and it's never over. There is not an off season for the Holy War.
I think it's fascinating, Nate, that and I think you're right about this. It's like, how many points can BYU give up and still win? Is it 25, 26 points?
Yeah, I think it is 25, 26. I do.
I think that you're right about that. Like if Utah scores more than 26 points, then they probably win. If Utah scores less, then BYU probably wins the game. I think that seems right to me too.
Yeah, and I think the analytics will bear that out as well. BYU would win a closer game, and what that means is we're keeping, again, it's all about keeping Dampier in a box. And BYU specifically is built, just like, by the way, Texas Tech is, very strong in the middle of the defense, right? It's a linebacker back defense, so they can bring everybody up. They play press covers just like Utah does, and they stress you on the edges. So if you can go over the top and beat your DB, you're going to do it. Problem is Dampier hasn't been able to prove he can do that. Bear has. Bear's done 2 or 3 75-yard passes. So he can stretch the field and also run. Dampier can absolutely run. We haven't seen him stretch the field. And that's really what Utah's missing. To be a playoff team, Utah needs to be able to do exactly what Ute said. That is stretch the field, get a couple explosive plays, and maybe, really, really win a turnover battle.
I'll tell you what, this could be a playoff type of game too. Because
I think it's an eliminator game. I still think
certainly an eliminator. But if BYU gets the W here, then you're sitting at 7-0, and you saw the schedule, you could afford maybe you could lose a game and even lose the title game to Texas Tech, and maybe even get into the playoffs still.
Potentially, it depends. Yeah, it's a very close field this year for the playoff, but there is a path to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised if either Utah or BYU in the playoff, one of the two.
I hope so. I really do. Just like last year, the Big 12 needed another team in. There was no reason for SMU and Clemson to get in from the ACC, especially last year when BYU beat SMU at home. They have these crazy analytics that tell them that they can vote and do whatever they want with putting teams where they deserve. BYU deserved to be playing that SMU game.
The committee,
now we're trying to get back.
It's like the committee didn't even watch all the games. They just watched a few games. They just had their intern do the work for them. It's like,
yes.
Problem is they don't have meat in that room.
There you go.
Get the man in.
That's what we're missing.
Put me in. I'll represent. I may be a Bama man, but I represent everyone in the world of college football.
Yes, you do. You do a good job.
But I will say before we get to the topic of Netflix, let's get to the 3 best games in the history of the Holy War. Nate, we'll start with you. 3 best games in the history of the Holy War.
I don't know. There's been so many. I would just say anytime BYU won in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. I mean, there was 3 decades there where it was pretty much all blue. So it was easy to pick any of those games. Obviously, the games that mattered the most are the ones that either helped or hurt being undefeated, because they did that a lot back then. They lost a lot of games that they shouldn't have. Not a lot of games, I guess, but they lost a few, and usually Utah was involved in those games. I think probably 2021 in the most recent time period, because it represented a change from where Utah had this huge 12-year run in the Pac-12, back-to-back Pac-12 champions, went to the Rose Bowl, had a ton of success. They beat up on BYU for years. In 2021, we flipped the script. And I think since then it's been a little bit more blue, but yeah, I can't think of. I mean, there was 2009, back to Harline. That was a big game. But yeah, I think 2021 is probably it's the most recent one I can remember.
The most significant Holy War wins for Utah: 2004.
Yes.
3-0
in a 3-0 in a driving snowstorm. Sorry, driving snowstorm. Seriously, we're talking feet of snow.
And so you're looking at the significance, because Utah was able to run the table in those years and go to the Fiesta Bowl and crash the BCS in 2004. And then in 2008 they got to the Sugar Bowl and beat Alabama. Right. And I had that undefeated season too. And you had to go through the Cougars both years. Those are the 2 most significant. The most satisfying Utah win was back, I think this was about 8-9 years ago, where Utah came into Rice Eccles and just wooded BYU 52-10 or something.
Yeah.
That was a fun night and everything, but that's not in the regular, right? That was outside of the norm. I think I can remember really painful losses too. Okay, like the last year's loss in person when the field goal, Utah lost by field goal, but the controversy was before that on penalty calls. And I remember I was right there.
I was staying up till 1 a.m. for that one. I was 14 years old at that time.
We're so old, Ute. I can't believe that. I'm 14 years old. Okay.
But yeah, so every game has its own story and everything in this rivalry, and I'm sure the 2025 version will have something juicy for us.
Oh, man. For me, my 3 favorite games of all time, and I've really had to narrow this down, were 2009, 2021, and 2012.
2012. Which one is that one, Ute?
That was the wild finish of penalty flags, where it's like, oh, we're gonna storm the field. No, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh yeah, they missed 2 field goals, stormed the field twice, and still lost. Yeah. Thanks.
I was at the game. I ran on the field. Yeah, I remember.
Oh my God, so stupid. We got some history here, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the stupidest game ever. Absolutely.
That was nuts. The whole crowd was on the field everywhere.
Twice, not just once. They did it twice.
Oh, it was awesome though. Couldn't keep it. Everyone wanted just to storm right away.
It is chaos. There's no doubt about it. Yep.
Oh man, you got to do some running, not once but twice in 2012 at nighttime.
Man, yeah, it's a great game though for sure.
Oh man, that's right. It was 11 p.m. your time, 1 a.m. my time.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, that is one of my favorite finishes right there, man. And the 2009 game, I was watching that with my uncle on the Versus Network.
Oh yeah, the old Versus. Oh, that was a nightmare.
And we were flipping to Arkansas LSU, where Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge were on the call on ESPN, and LSU had like the gold helmets, and they were wearing white pants that night. They won in overtime against Arkansas that night,
Okay.
and Arkansas was all red. They thought they were scary, but not scary enough. And that was also Charlie Weiss' last game as Notre Dame head coach, where
Oh
Notre
yeah,
Dame
that couldn't end soon enough.
oh man.
That was a
And that was
disaster.
And that was one of the many instances where Kirk Herbstreit was having to travel, be at two places at once because he was at Gainesville, Florida for Florida State, but Florida State was on CBS. And you had Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, of course, on the call.
Right.
And then he went over to Stanford Cal to go call Saturday Night Football with Brett Musburger.
Hey. There's
Well,
you're dropping names left and right there, Jackson. I don't remember any of those things. Your memory is crazy good, kid.
Well,
I don't know how you remember all this college football history stuff. It's amazing.
Well, it's just loved the game and never forget Toby Gerhardt and Andrew Luck making magic that night on
There
Saturday.
you go. There you go.
That was one of the few instances of Alabama being on Black Friday that year, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have an issue with Alabama Auburn being on Black Friday. I actually thought that was cool. I mean, I'm probably in the minority for saying that, but that's okay. It's like not everything's got to be a majority opinion with me.
We want BYU Utah on the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
the day before, or even Black Friday would be okay.
Yeah, that would be fine too. But I like the day before Thanksgiving because there's nobody else playing.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like if you're putting it on Saturday for rivalry week, it's going to get overlooked. Everybody's going to be thinking more about Ohio State, Michigan, or the Iron Bowl, or another obscure game.
Yeah.
And if you're putting it on Black Friday, I don't think a lot of people are going to be thinking about Nebraska, Iowa, or even Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Nothing against Ole Miss, Mississippi State, but BYU Utah just screams college football, whereas Mississippi State just screams of depression and broken dreams.
That egg bowl, that old egg bowl.
You gotta do that to people, Jackson. Wow.
I mean,
let's talk Netflix. Let's get that done.
Oh, there we go. So as we were reading about yesterday, and matter of fact, you guys broke the news last week on CFB Mafia.
We did.
Mr. Thompson joined you guys to discuss Notre Dame USC being on Netflix instead of being on NBC or Fox or CBS or ABC. Now, if this happens, would this save the Notre Dame USC rivalry for good? And I'm hoping Netflix, in order to really get people sold on this, instead of just having this game on a neutral site in Mexico City, here's what I suggest. Put it on rivalry week every year if you have to. Because nobody's thinking about Notre Dame Stanford. Nothing against Stanford, but nobody's thinking about Notre Dame Stanford in the odd number years.
No.
I mean, because like from 1926 to 1960, Notre Dame USC was on rivalry week, no matter what. But since 1961, we've seen Notre Dame USC, South Bend in the odd number years in mid-October and in the even number years on Thanksgiving week, on rivalry week.
Right.
I feel like if Netflix does this, they have Notre Dame USC on annually on Thanksgiving, they would win a lot of points. A lot, because I mean,
that game could beat an NFL game.
Oh yeah,
if it was played on Thursday.
I mean, who really wants to watch? I don't
know, but Netflix
Cowboys and Lions football.
I mean, Netflix eats entire countries alive. Anything they do is billions and billions of dollars. So I think if that deal was to go through, where that Bob Thompson talked about on our show last Wednesday, if they were to get something like that, it would piss everybody in the Big Ten off. When the news came out, there was a bunch of people who were not happy friends of ours that were not happy because it was upsetting the delicate balance that's currently in the Big Ten, which is they're the biggest and grandest, and they get to tell everybody, step off. And now you have infighting. They thought they had this big capital thing, whatever they're going to do with the Big Ten Enterprises or whatever that's going to be called. That might not go now because word of this USC thing came out. That upset NBC. Bob told everybody that was going to happen. It upset CBS. It upset Fox because USC is their property, right? But USC saying, "Hey, we own our own rights on this other part. We're going to sublet them and put them on Netflix for whatever game you want to with Notre Dame." Imagine and expand it even more. If they're going to do USC Notre Dame, why not do Michigan Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, Michigan Notre Dame was just as big a game every year as USC Notre Dame was. So, and why not Ohio State Notre Dame? You could absolutely blow and destroy all metrics of every conference if you were to take Notre Dame and take any other school and put it on Netflix. The economics of college football would
that's coming, because it's like that's coming because honestly, NBC, they don't need Notre Dame as much as they did in 2004. They're nowhere near that.
I don't know if that's true. Is that true, you?
I feel like.
I mean, they've got Big Ten.
I think they need. I think NBC
they've got Big Ten content now, so they're hedging a little bit. But I mean, NBC is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, right? Yeah. I don't know.
Just think of like everything Notre Dame wise.
Yeah, but I feel like Notre Dame on NBC, the way that's going, it could go the way of MLB on ESPN or NBA on TV. Like not now, not next year, not 2 years from now, but I feel like that's where it's heading. And
it's possible. NBC is actually being restructured. They're building NBC Sports Network again. They're re-releasing that. And they're pulling a bunch of properties and they're going to put sports just on that channel. So Notre Dame, I mean, you're not going to get a bigger brand in college football than Notre Dame. So I would be shocked if that's not something that they do everything they can to keep hold of.
Well, I hope this Netflix thing makes NBC think we better step this up. We better fly right. And even though Fox is always going to have Ohio State, Michigan every year, we're not going to beat them on that. But here's where we can beat CBS.
But what's the nightmare scenario? Really quick, you're Minnesota. Greg Flugar, peek around the corner, friend of ours, certainly. He's a little threatened by this whole thing, and he should be.
Yeah.
The insecurity that they're feeling now in the Big Ten, the tiered payouts, the idea that Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State are going to make more money than everybody else, and the power that basically goes there. Ohio State doesn't need a big capital infusion right now. They're doing just fine. You know who needs it? Illinois, Indiana, Purdue, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing to get the money out of the Big Ten organization. Ohio State doesn't need it. And now USC saying, I don't even need the Big Ten. Let's go out and we'll do our own freaking thing. And you actually projected this 3 years ago. You projected this. He said there is a future where everybody does their own media deal and the deals that go for the conferences sort of completely disseminate out. Right, Ute?
That's right. Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about this Netflix deal. Is it a sub-license deal? Or like, because like, here's the deal. Fox owns the rights of UFC properties when they play home games.
Yes, that's right.
There's nothing
that's
Netflix can do about that unless Fox sublet and sold the game off to Netflix, right? That's the only way that could work. The only other alternative. Yeah, if it's a Notre Dame home game and NBC has the rights to it, maybe NBC could work out a deal with Netflix to let that happen. Yeah. Right? So that's the structure basically we're talking about in the Netflix deal.
Well, we're kind of guessing. We don't know what Notre Dame. Look, Bob told me last week. He said this is going to upset media partners in the Big Ten. We all know who those are. He told the world they were going to be pissed off about this, and yet it's way down the road. So down the road that what is it? FOS Sports or whatever the reporting financial. What is that channel at FOS?
Yeah, FOS Sport.
Financial.
And I,
What is
and
it?
I know
It's the front off sports.
Yeah, Front Office
Yeah,
Sports.
front
They broke
office.
that. Yeah, 2 days ago they broke it, and they said Netflix has been working on this deal. So somehow, some way, Ute, Notre Dame or USC, they think that they have control of some rights to be able to do this one-off game, and it wouldn't just be one time. They would sign a deal that they would do this for annual because they're
Please
worried
do
about
this,
losing it.
Netflix. Please do this. Save the Notre
Well,
Dame USC
It'll
rivalry.
break college football if they do it.
Well,
It will
right.
break college football.
Washington
I don't even know
and
how
Oregon,
they can do it, like contractually,
Well,
guys. Like
so did
Fox
cable
has locked up
television.
USC rights at home. Notre Dame rights are through NBC.
So how are they
unless there's
doing
a
it?
loophole.
You want to know how I think they're doing it, Ute? I'll tell
Yeah.
you. USC comes in as a full share to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
He comes in full share with UCLA. Washington and Oregon come half share, and they're going to get that share back. The other half share as the time goes. The Big Ten wants to get money. Majority of Big Ten schools want to get money out of this new capital apparatus, whatever it is, $2.4 billion. That money is supposed to go into tiers in payouts. And USC, on the initial projection, was not at the top tier. The only top tier schools were Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. So if USC is not going to be treated just like those other blue bloods, another way to make them happy is fine, they stay at the second tier, but then you give them rights to do this one-off game and they trade their votes. So they're essentially saying, yes, fine, we're not happy about it. You go ahead and go do this deal, but in trade, we get your vote to turn around and finance the Big Ten enterprise thing. And that's the only way I can see they can get their vote. UCLA has no power. They're not going to be able to push back. USC is a blue blood. There's no reason they shouldn't make the same money as Ohio State. So then it comes down to, why do the deal at all? If this is the trade, it's sort of a deal with the devil. If you do it, you're breaking the system. If you don't do it, you're pissing off USC. So
I just don't know why the TV partners would be okay with that. I mean, like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Ten, right?
We don't know the answers to that.
Like that's the interesting one. Like, does USC have so much leverage on the Big Ten that the Big Ten is willing to renegotiate some of the games to let Netflix have them? Because
I think maybe
so upset. That is tectonic then. If that's the case,
their vote is expensive. USC boosters and the people that run that school are not going to be okay with the headline that says, oh, by the way, USC is being paid the same amount of money that UCLA is and that Oregon is. Can you imagine them reading that headline on a Sunday news, splashed across the top, USC second tier? No way. So how does it work at all? It doesn't make any sense. None of it made sense to me when this came out 2 weeks ago. I still think it's a bunch of just pie in the sky, people wanting money out because they're losing money. And these schools want to play big boy football. To do that, Purdue cannot do that without $100 million or whatever cash infusion. Simply can't do it. They cannot compete. So how do you get the money then?
Yeah.
That's why they're desperate to get this done. They want to get it over the line. They wanted to announce it. We were told last weekend, Moen on our show on Friday night said Monday or Tuesday, this is going to get announced. Well, what happened on Monday? The Netflix thing broke into the wild, even though I'd broken it the week before. Nobody watched me. That's why it became such a thing, is now everybody's going, Michigan and USC were sitting watching a football game on Saturday going, hey, by the way, let's talk about this capital thing. By the way, are you happy about this? I don't know if I'm happy about it. I'm not happy about it. Next thing you know, they're saying they're not going to vote for it. So how do you have to buy them off? How are you going to make them happy?
Well, and
concessions.
I think it is concessions. I really do. I think this is a zero-sum game. This is survive or die.
I think and it's a smart move that Netflix made by saying, like, hey, we want to do Notre Dame USC. And again, all they got to do is just do what Notre Dame USC has been doing for the past 100 years. We're happy. All of us will be happy for sure.
Right. We just want the game.
And you know, because like I compare Netflix being involved in the sports world much similar to the Fox NFL deal from the 1990s when Fox was thinking to themselves, we're not going to beat ABC, CBS, and NBC by only having Homer Simpson and Al
No,
Bundy.
they're not. They had to get football to become relevant. That's exactly right.
Agreed. And Netflix realizes, okay, we don't have BoJack Horseman anymore. We don't have Maury the Hormone Monster or Big Mouth anymore. So here's what's gonna happen is we're gonna start having more sports programming. We're having annual Christmas Day games for the NFL. Oh, we're not getting involved in the NFL. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
they're gonna take CBS is gonna lose once again. History will repeat itself, except they lose to Netflix. But on the bright side, CBS has Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. I mean,
hey, there you go.
You got a little.
I don't know about the NBC thing, but I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah, like NBC will be fine and Fox will be fine. CBS, I think, is a little screwed though.
CBS is in trouble. If you look at their viewership numbers, them leaving the SEC might have been the worst decision that channel's ever made.
Oh yeah,
not doing everything they could to stay with. I mean, CBS was the SEC. We all knew where to go on Saturday mornings. It was CBS to watch SEC games. It was in the can. They'd done it for a generation and a half. To lose that was a massive mistake.
Oh yeah, and that's what's gonna happen. Like even though like the Netflix, I don't know what type of dude it was. I don't know if it was like the president, but I know it was like a top executive where he was saying we're not getting the NFL. You know what that's like? It's like those rom-com movies where the star says, I'm not into the co-star. But really, you have feelings for the co-star. The rom-com star and the co-star have feelings for one another. They kiss. Everybody claps. That's what's happening with Netflix and the NFL. Netflix says they don't want to deal with the NFL. But if that's so, then why are you doing NFL Christmas Day games? Why are you like doing business Roger Goodell then? Because you want NFL. You want to be airing Sunday games. You want to get a piece of that NFL pie. You want to take it from Fox and you want to share with Fox, NBC, but you're going to take somebody out. And it's not Fox. It's not NBC. Definitely not the House of Mouse. No. You're going to take out CBS, Paramount Plus. Oh my God, they've been disastrous.
Now wait a second. Don't. Paramount Plus now buys CBS, right? Paramount Plus now becomes a monster, and there's another article that came out this week that said that maybe they go with TNT, and in 4 years they go all Big 12.
Ooh.
And they do their own thing, and that becomes now a deal. CBS, Paramount Plus, and TNT with Fox. Sorry, with HBO and all the WB stuff, that could be pretty big.
Oh yeah, I get more John Oliver and more South Park reruns. Nice.
What'd you say, you?
Yeah, TNT has actually been a bit concerning this year. If you've looked at the ratings, they're really bad. Really bad.
I think it's just nobody's used
200,000 viewers.
Yeah, I think that's
it's not as good as we thought. And it's quietly bad right now, but I just don't see it really...
I didn't want to hear that.
I'm serious about this. But I'm looking at the viewers; they don't even.
All right, I'm willing to change that.
And it could change in the future, but it's not that saving grace that I thought.
Well, isn't it? But we were comparing TNT and ESPN Plus. It's not like we were comparing TNT and Fox. We weren't comparing those two. We were comparing TNT to ESPN Plus. If I had those two and I know production values where they're at, I'm TNT all the time. If you're talking about it being a master, up against Fox and NBC and ESPN, no, I wasn't saying that. Sorry. I might have said that wrong and colored it differently. We just want to replace ESPN Plus, please.
Yeah, screw ESPN Plus.
Anything to get off of ESPN Plus. Hey, I got to go, Jackson. I'm sorry. This has been a lot of fun. But
no worries.
Wrap it up a little bit for me.
Oh man, thank you for coming on, gentlemen.
You bet.
That was a blast, man. And for those who don't know about you and want to learn more about what you got going on, where can they find each of you?
You go first.
Boom. Yeah.
Go ahead, you.
College Football Mafia YouTube channel. Come check us out. Live shows, realignment talk, analytics. We got you covered.
There we go.
And if you didn't get it from us, we are personalities. We do have opinions. It is not a vanilla show. We fight all the time, but it's all done with love and appreciation and respect. And that's what I would do, sort of signing off tonight, is there's so much hate out in the world. Violence seems to be creeping into our daily lives. My daughter was at the Charlie Kirk event.
Oh, man.
My daughter was actually there.
Wow.
That's affected our family. And I just want everybody to just take a beat, right? It's the holy war, but it's not really. Everybody, let's relax. We don't need to be hurting people. Yeah, I just want everybody to get along. And the place to go to be with us would be Friday night, College Football Mafia on YouTube. Just look us up. Thank you, Jackson, for sharing the web addresses. And then if you put our links back up with our names, you'll see our places where you can catch us on Twitter and on YouTube. Let's see what else. And just come and we have a ball. We talk all college football. It's not just Big 12. We promise.
There we go. So tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Nate, WildUte, Moen, and friends are creating all right here on the CFB Mafia channel. Let's get them all to 10,000 subs, 20,000 subs, and much more. And, of course, you can check me out Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, including Tuesday's edition for Tennessee Live. For Tennessee,
yeah, let's go.
Where I was joined by Brody Smoot from Crimson Coverage and Tennessee Volunteers live co-host Tucker Harlan and Jordan Binkley for the preview of the Alabama-Tennessee matchup. And who's going to be smoking that cigar in the post-game show? Tune in to find out on Saturdays. And, of course, you'll be tuning in later tonight on this Thursday night as Jeffrey and I take your calls on the 54th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show. All right there. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got numerous episodes, Jacksonian, Pits Analysis, Final Whistle with Sports Talk with Austin, and much more. Thank you guys for getting me closer to 1,000 subs, as I am 288 subs away. And for
let's go, everybody. Step up. Hit that subscribe button.
There we go. Thanks, man. And for more updates on what I've got going on, Alabama the Voice College Football, the Jacksonian, the twice-a-week appearances on Locked On West Virginia, on Jackson's Take on College Football with Mountaineer Paul, and the once-twice-a-week calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show, however long they're going to last. Check me out on Jacksonville CFB on X/Twitter and on Instagram, that's JacksonJohnson543908. And you can also check me out on Jackson Johnson 97 Blue Skies Social, where my friend Mike Debate says where the skies are blue. Some say skies are gray. Some say the skies are overcast, but I say to each their own. All right here on the Jacksonian. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy Thursday night and to stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video or episode whatsoever. And we will see you soon.
Go Cougs. Peace.
Go Cougs.